This tape is about how to sing the first two blessings of the Amida. The Amida is the main prayer in our service after the Shema. It's done in all three prayer services. It's not sung at night, except the Reform sometimes sing it at night, but by tradition you don't. But it is sung during the day, in the morning, and at Mincha. There's two different ways to do it. In the more traditional synagogues, the congregation does it all silently, and then the cantor repeats the whole thing. Other synagogues, sometimes they'll start together, do the first three blessings together, and then finish up silently. That's called a Weekday Kedusha. Now, there's a different tune for Shabbat and for the weekday, so I'm going to teach you both. And these are the traditional words of the Amida. Now, some more liberal synagogues add the matriarchs in addition to the patriarchs, that is Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, in the first blessing. So first, this is the Shabbat main tune. There's variants, of course, for traditional synagogues. So make sure you get a prayer book and open up to any Amida. They have them in every prayer service. And here's how you'd sing it. And I have another tape where I show you the movements. Traditionally, before you begin, you walk back 2.5 steps and then walk forward 2.5 steps and then bow kind of at the waist. And this is the Shabbat tune, a little more flowery than the regular weekday tune. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov. Now this is where you would insert the matriarchs. Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. And some people even reverse Rachel and Leah if you're a non-Orthodox synagogue and not a very traditional conservative synagogue. Then you keep going. Ha'el, Hagadol, Hagibor, V'hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot, Umevi Goel Livnei V'nehem, L'ma'an Shemo B'yahava. And then if it's the Sabbath between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur called Shabbat Shuvah, there's something else you add there. But then you continue, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechaye Meitim Atarav L'Hoshia. And then if it's between the end of Sukkot and Passover, you add Mashiv Haruach U'Morid Hagashem Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed Mechaye Meitim Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofech Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Micha Mocha Bal Givurot Umido Melach Melech Meimit Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman Ata Lahachayo Meitim Baruch Ata Adonai Mechaye HaMeitim. Now the third blessing is the Kedusha, and I mentioned in my movement video that when you, in the beginning where it says V'kara Zeh El Zeh Ve'amar, a lot of people will go for each word Zeh, which means this, they'll go Zeh, turning to that side when they're standing up, and Zeh. Now this is all done standing up with your feet, heels together, not moving. The first three blessings. Or the whole time when you're praying the Amida. And then when it says Kadosh, 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 Holy, 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 I mentioned that you go up a little bit higher on the soles of your foot each time you say Kadosh. Okay, now let me sing it for the weekday service. If you're only there for the evening minyan, you wouldn't sing this at all. But for the morning and afternoon, here's the basic tune, much plainer than Shabbat. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Ha'el Hagadol Hagibur v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'konei Hakol V'zocher Chasdei Avot Umevi Goel Livnei V'nehem L'ma'an Shemo B'yahava Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Abraham, and so forth. That's the basic way to do it. Now, for the Amida, for the Kedusha, for example, they have different Kedushas. The third blessing is a little bit different. So it kind of, you have to know the specific ones, but I'll help you now with the Kedusha for Shabbat morning. Usually the cantor begins, Nikadesh Hashemcha Be'olam. This is the very plainest way to do it. Kishem Shemakdishim Al Tobi Shmei Maran Kakatuv Yad V'yecha V'karaz El Zeh V'yamar. Again, in Zeh, you turn to that way and that way. And then you go Kadosh, 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 and you go up on your soles of your feet 3 times. Malo Kol Aretz Kevodo. Then the reader continues, Az B'Kol Rash Gadol Adir V'Chazak Mashmiim Kol Minasim L'Mat Tzrafim L'Matam Baruch Yomeru. Then the congregation responds, Baruch Kevod Adonai Mim Komo. Then the reader continues, and then the congregation continues. Now let me just do the reader part, the standard one, because sometimes people sing along part of it. Mim kocha malkeinu tofia v'timloch aleinu ki mechakim anachnu lach. Matai timloch b'tzion b'kara b'yameinu le'olam v'ed tishkon. Titkadav v'tikadash b'toch Yerushalayim ircha. L'dor v'dor l'netzach netzachim. Then a lot of people will sing this. V'yeneinu tirena tirena malchutecha kadavar ha'amur b'shirei uzecha. Repeat that. V'yeneinu tirena tirena malchutecha kadavar ha'amur b'shirei uzecha. Al Yedei David, David, Al Yedei David, David, Al Yedei David, Mashiach Tzidkecha. Then we say, Yimloch Adonai Le'olam, Elohai Tzion, L'dor V'dor, Hallelujah. And then the cantor would finish, and there's a very popular sing-along tune where he says, L'dor V'dor, and we repeat, L'dor V'dor, L'dor V'dor, L'dor V'dor, L'dor V'dor, Nagid Gad Lecha. L'dor V'dor, L'dor V'dor, L'dor V'dor, L'dor V'dor, L'dor V'dor, Nagid Gad Lecha. Ulenetzach netzachim, Kedushatecha Nagdish, Kedushatecha Nagdish. V'shivchacha Eloheinu, Mihipinu lo yamush le'olam v'oed. And kind of sing the whole thing. Again, repeat L'dor V'dor. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh. And then you sing. Now, the Amida during the week has 19 blessings. The first 3 and the last 3 are basically always the same. The middle 13 are all petitions, requests from God. But on Shabbat, we take those 13 away, and we put one in, a blessing for the Sabbath day. For example, there's a very famous passage from the Torah in the Shabbat morning called V'shamru, to guard the Sabbath. And the last 3 blessings are always the same. One is called Ritzei, one is called Modim, which is to thank God, and then finally a prayer for peace. In the morning it's Shem Shalom, and in the evening and afternoon it's Shalom Rav among traditional synagogues. And they're both singable. That's the Amida.